Why are most African diasporans broke? African Spiritual Science 101. There is an epidemic of impoverishment and lack worldwide amongst the African diaspora. It comes from not understanding the ancient spiritual science of our ancestors. I want to change that lack of understanding with the knowledge in this video. In order to change the state of being, you'll have to change your thinking about how you value yourself and others that look like or reflect you. Allow me to explain the spiritual science behind being broke and then take you step by step into the ancient African spiritual science that will bring you abundance. Here's what you'll learn in this video. Number 1, what is the mindset that dictates impoverishment and brokenness within the African diaspora? Number 2, how belief in the struggle is real keeps you broke. Number 3, the ancient African philosophy of creating. Number 4, the African spiritual science of how to create more money and abundance. Number 5, how to manifest abundance with African Spiritual Science 101. Number 6, a daily affirmation to create abundance for you. Let's get started. With the African diaspora, the way we do business with each other is a microcosm of the macrocosm. Here's what I mean. There's oftentimes an undercurrent of thought that if a black person has a business that provides any type of skill or service, then it's cheap, should be free, and needs to have a price break by giving the customer a discount. You know, the hookup. You must understand that your thoughts and beliefs are always what is being returned to you as your life. Life is feedback. The ancient Africans taught that life emanates from within you. The attitude that a black business owner's product and skills should be cheap is a mindset of a lack mentality. The mentality you have about the business owner is deep down a reflection of how you value yourself. In your mind, nothing a black person produces can be of value. On the internal level, you don't value you. Your state of lack or brokenness becomes the feedback for your own sense of self-value. As a people, many of the African diaspora don't become entrepreneurs or risk takers and business owners because any failure is not a lesson. It becomes confirmation of an already low opinion of oneself. Even though you hate your job, you won't start your own business because of the self-doubt. Since you have a low opinion of yourself, anyone that looks like you is viewed lowly as well, and their service is devalued, no matter the quality of work. You project that belief onto other black people and business owners. The mindset becomes even more of a reason for you not to start your own business. I don't mean this as a condemnation. It's spoken in a manner of tough love and understanding from my own growth and realization that your mindset blocks your flow of abundance. I must speak frankly, and it may sound like I'm being harsh. Please forgive me if it sounds harsh, but I have to address this from a spiritual science level so that you and the rest of the African diaspora can heal and grow abundantly. This is coming from a place of love and admiration for our greatness that has been deferred and must come back to the forefront. I submit to you that devaluing another black person, their product, their wisdom, and skills is a form of self-loathing. It's also holding on psychologically to religious ideas like worshiping white Jesus that ingrains self-loathing at levels so deep that you're not always aware of them. Add on top of that accepting the idea of worthlessness, passed down through generations of being told your skin color makes you less, is a cocktail of self-hate that gives a feedback loop of lack in life, lack in finances, lack in health, and lack in love within the African diaspora. Too often you get into a mindset that anything produced by a black person should be free to consume. Oftentimes there is an attitude of entitlement that goes along with this mindset. In other words, because the struggle is real for me, he or she should give away their product and skills for free, knowing I can't afford it. The erroneous belief is that this will help me and the community. But the truth is a broke mentality cannot uplift a broke mentality. And no giver can keep giving from an empty vessel. At some point, the person that gives and doesn't receive anything in return simply burns out and can become mentally broken. When that happens, the value you receive from that individual or business stops, and your soul and the community is no longer fed. It's an unsustainable economic model of impoverishment that is practiced worldwide within the African diaspora. Now understand that the giver who burns out and the taker that never gives are energetically two sides of the same coin. When you're a giver, but you have a hard time receiving, it sets an energetic imbalance. You don't charge for your gift because deep down you don't feel it's valuable, because on some level you do not value yourself. Rather than having the courage to say to another that my time, my skills, my wisdom is of value, you simply give it away, hoping that money will magically appear. Those that take and don't give is the other side of the coin and also operating with an energetic imbalance. You take everything of value in hopes that it will enrich you. But because you feel if you give your money away, you won't be able to recoup it, then you hold on to it. You may even think the person giving you the knowledge owes it to you because they know the struggle is real. They should understand why you don't give them anything. Both individuals operate through the most basic universal law. What you put out is what you get back. You both end up in a state of impoverishment and being broke because you're essentially operating from the same energetic vibration. You both claim the struggle. The struggle is real has become a mantra for many of the African diaspora. Understand you cannot produce abundance while elevating the struggle. Stop making that statement. Here's the metaphysical science of why. They are diametrically opposed states of being. In other words, they conflict with each other. In order to receive what you desire from the universe, you must give that which you desire. An analogy is that you have to prime the pump. Priming the pump is when old well water pumps had a suction valve that had to be primed or given a little water first so that the pump would function by bringing more water than you primed it with to the surface. This is an analogy of how the universe works. Here's a natural analogy for what has to come from within you. When a flower grows in a garden, the environment has to come first in order for the plant to grow. The sun, the rain, and the fertile soil all has to exist before the flower can grow and bloom. The flower becomes the evidence of an abundant environment. The environment always has to be established first. In other words, the flower never appears before the soil, rain, and sun. That's common sense. Duh. But understand that you are nature. Creating your reality operates the same way. You must create the environment for abundance first. Then it will grow. Creating the environment primes the pump. Allow me to connect this to real life. A service provider, for example, who is unable to charge a fair rate for their services is unable to determine their worth or feel worthy to receive is operating from a place of lack. What they're priming the pump to the universe with is their unworthiness and or perceived lack of value by giving away what they do on the cheap or free. If you prime the pump with the self-deprecating belief in unworthiness, you get lack returned and reflected back to you in life. It's universal law. If you're a taker who takes without giving, then you're operating from the belief that you have nothing to give or that you deserve it for free, for whatever reason. You're operating from a place of lack. Therefore, you try to gain whatever you can for free because you believe you're broke. Or you believe the producer that looks like you is undeserving, which is a self-hate mentality. You're priming the pump for lack. The universe will return or reflect the belief you put out. It's law. Make no mistake that on the world stage, the African diaspora have been made to feel worthless on many levels for centuries. We've been given a message of being unworthy, even in the face of the truth that our ancestors have given the world the foundation that modern civilization is built on. If you want to build anything of value, it can't be done from a belief and thought process of lack of worth or unworthiness on any level. If you want to receive wealth, you have to operate from an abundant mindset and know your worth first. You must then create the environment from within yourself. You must prime the pump. That means when you know you've received value, give it back in return. Now, value doesn't just come from physical products. It can be a new realization given to you, which is a seed of wisdom gained. When you give back, you and the receiver will then create a feedback loop of abundance. Abundant energy doesn't just multiply, it grows exponentially. The abundant feedback loop will expand. If you want to have your talent make a way for you, then you must know that what you have to offer is of value. At some point, you must create the inner environment for abundance to be reflected back to you in your life. As a service provider, you must be able to evaluate what you offer and determine a reasonable value that you will be satisfied with in return. In other words, you must know your value. If you don't, the universe can only return your belief in worthlessness or unworthiness. Individually, if you're broke, one reason may be because you hoard every penny. You hold on to it because you believe making money is hard and the struggle is real. That mindset must be changed. You must insert the opposite thoughts and beliefs. The only way to change that state of lack is to change your mindset first. You must begin to operate from a mentality of recognizing the abundance in the universe. You must change your belief to the idea that money flows to you from many sources. Then from that changed mindset, give to others knowing that it will be returned to you. Understand I'm talking science here, so you can't hope that it will be returned to you. Hope is like the proverbial carrot on a stick. As the story goes, you can put a carrot on a stick, dangle it in front of a horse, and it will chase the carrot hoping that he'll catch it. But the carrot stays just out of reach. Hope will keep abundance just out of reach for you like the carrot. Hope will keep you broke. You must have a certainty and know that it will flow to you because you are worthy to be abundant. That's universal law. I repeat, what you put out is what you get back is the first and prime law of the universe. Again, your life is always a reflection of your inner beliefs. Your changed belief in an abundant flow will prime the pump of the universe. Your beliefs create the environment for growth. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts as yesterday, and expecting different results. Understanding the science and applying it is doing something different. As a people, we've operated from a mentality that has trapped so many of us in poverty or just a paycheck to paycheck existence. However, you can change that. If you have talent, figure out what the value is and expect that it should be returned to you when you share it. There is no shame for believing you are of worth and worthy. Religion has taught you that being prideful is a sin, but that's wrong. We have to examine these negative beliefs, where they originated and why. Having pride is recognizing your value to you. If you lack funds, then understand that feeling you need to hold on tight to every penny is being communicated to the universe. You're priming the pump for lack. Your inner environment is a belief of impoverishment. Money is hard to get, or the struggle is real. You must insert the opposite belief and know that you're worthy to be abundant. Know that you're worthy and those that look like you are worthy, worthwhile, and valuable. Give to those that give value to you. When you act on the belief that because a person is black, then you should receive their gift for free or at a deep discount, then lack will be your return. It's universal law. That doesn't mean be irresponsible with your finances. But in order to change the energy flow of lack, you must give or prime the pump. Where normally you would want to be cheap, treat yourself and pay 2 cents more for something that you would have skimped on before. 2 cents more is a small but powerful gesture. Donate or tip others who provide you with valuable knowledge and be grateful that you were able to help them. That's a giving mindset for yourself and those you give to. The mindset coupled with the action signals the universe that you've changed. That small change will jumpstart or prime the pump within an energetic process that works for you behind the scenes. It will change your vibration to abundance that will attract abundance back to you. It's creating the abundant environment from within yourself. This is really what the religious idea of tithing is about. It works when the attitude is in proper perspective. Many church people know this. But if tithing is done from a place of fear that you might get punished if you don't do it, then the mindset is wrong. That's a different mentality than giving with gratitude. Of course, many churches play on the guilt and fear of their parishioners. Churches can produce feelings of guilt and obligation within. It's the wrong environment being set up. Studies have shown that over 400 million Christians of African descent live in poverty worldwide. That's not by accident. Have you ever thought that you might be cursed? I know that many African diasporans do. That's the superstitious foundation of the belief in lack. They believe on some level that God is punishing Black people for some reason, never considering the negative cultural mindset we've been programmed with for centuries. Add on to that, praying to white Jesus to save you produces inner conflict. Hence the reason many of those in the pews remain impoverished. Black business owners and service providers can't make you feel guilty for not giving back like the church. They shouldn't have to when you know how to prime the pump. If you receive value, then give it back to them. Tell others how good the business or service was to you. Let the business owner or service provider know that you appreciate what they do. If you want financial abundance, you have to prime the pump by giving that which you desire in return. You create an energetic loop of abundance when you do this. It works the same for love. If you're lonely because you fear getting hurt, then you're priming the pump with your fear that creates a block to being loved. The ancestors understood that God or the source has all. Give to it and it will give back to you. It just has to know what you want. You cannot operate thinking and being broke and then expect abundance in return, be it finances or love. Thinking broke and wanting abundance is conflicting beliefs. Only you can change that by inserting new beliefs and acting with certainty on the new belief. The African diaspora has been taught to feel lack in finances and love for self on so many levels. Only we can change that by giving love, money, and showing appreciation for ourselves and each other. It must start with you first. Only you can change that by being the change you want to see in the world. This is ancient spiritual or metaphysical science. Here are the exact steps you must take to create more money, more love, or more of anything that you desire. Number 1, prime the pump by inserting the opposite belief of what you're experiencing. Number 2, make a physical gesture by doing or giving what you want. Number 3, know in your heart that you've already received what you desire. In other words, claim it. These are the steps to creating or priming the pump for anything. Back in the day, they called it prayer, but you've only understood prayer at a superstitious level. Now that you understand the ancient African spiritual science, call it an affirmation. You're not praying to something outside yourself. It's creating your inner environment and priming the pump. Here's an affirmation that you need to begin saying to yourself daily. The affirmation is this: I love how money comes to me so easily in so many ways. It flows to me, through me, and returns to me. I give it freely and joyfully to bless others. I am the abundance of the universe in flesh. That's it. Now, repeat this to yourself daily for at least 5 minutes, no more than 10. Going over 10 minutes will start to reinforce what you believe you're missing. It must be a practice, not something you just think about. Insert that affirmation and repeat it over and over for 5 minutes. It will begin to rewire your brain, which then will reach into your mind and tap into your subconscious. It will begin to create a new environment within and start a new abundant feedback loop. This is a way to literally rewire your brain for abundance. I just taught you a way to connect mind, the body, which is the brain, and the inner you or soul. Doing this will make mind, body, and soul work in concert to produce what you desire instead of conflicted beliefs. Again, you must use the affirmation daily so that you can recognize your truth is this. You are a god or goddess, and you are worthy to live abundantly. Know that. Don't just give lip service to it, practice it. You are priceless. You are worthy to live authentically and abundantly. When you value you, then you will automatically value those that reflect you. When you get something of value from another, give back. Prime the pump for abundance. Create the environment within. It's the only way to curb the epidemic of poverty within yourself and the African diaspora. The struggle is not real. Abundance is. It's universal law, and it is your right. If you want to know more of this detailed step-by-step spiritual science knowledge, my class is opening for registration soon, but only for a short time. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Peace.